I'll be off for the night.
So the question then is, how much does a normal nuclear fission power plant generate? Out of curiosity. I think I actually wrote down one time how much like a submarine nuclear fission reactor generates, because that would at least be something that was semi-portable and compact. And I think it was something like 50 megawatts. Maybe it was less than that.
Excuse me, could you repeat the last bit you said?
I said that I think, if I recall correctly, a submarine nuclear reactor, right?
Yeah.
Did something like 50 megawatts of power.
Okay.
Now, hold on, nuclear reactor. I'm gonna look it up.
But if I remember correctly, Orion was not powered by a nuclear reactor, but it was powered by the nuclear charge exploding
I
behind
know
it.
which Orion you're talking about. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Orion, the actual thing that we were going to build, not Orion,
No.
okay,
Orion,
I know what you're talking about now. The
real
other
one,
Orion.
the one that was the one that on paper was capable of going to Alpha Centauri in less than 20 years.
Yeah, I know what you mean now.
Oh yes, it's true, but do you really name it Orion, the new one?
What? The name of the
Your new space program in America.
Yeah.
Is it really named Orion again?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Okay, so
Sorry.
apparently the French Rubis class submarines have a 48 megawatt reactor.
And that's not our most powerful reactor, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so some reactor sizes can range up to 165 megawatts actually effective, and 500 megawatts originally generated in a submarine, which is fairly compact, something on the scale that you'd want to see in a spaceship theoretically.
That depends, because in my opinion we should build the thing already in orbit and don't bother with gravity issues on Earth.
Well, how are you going to build it in orbit unless you get resources into orbit?
Helium balloons?
Helium balloons will only take you so far.
I love a helium balloon.
But if helium balloons can get you so far that something that is already on orbit can grab them? You know, imagine if you had something that is already in orbit that could grab something that you.
So the problem is,
okay,
so the problem with the helium balloons is they'll actually just take you up straight, and then you have to actually have something that's going to take it into orbit, because it's not actually creating any sort of orbital velocity. It's just taking it out of gravitational potential.
But you can compute what you need for that and take something that is already in orbit to grab that.
That's possible.
That is, I know that's something that I just thought for myself. I don't know if it is really feasible, but that's what I would try actually to calculate if it is possible. You know, imagine something that is in very low Earth orbit, like the lowest possible viable.
So then the
orbit,
question would be: is what's the
according to current technology.
liftability? A question I'd have is, what's the actual liftability of a helium balloon in their current stages? Like in the size that they have, what is their actual lift capability?
It seems to not be like. In the appearance, it seems to be like halfway from the space station, the ISS.
No, not not the highest they can go, but their actual liftability. How much weight can they carry?
Well, that's Archimedes' equation.
Yeah.
That depends of the volume.
Well, it's a variable equation because it's a variable equation because it depends on the altitude, actually. As you go higher in altitude, the balloon expands and you actually.
And the wave of the charge.
Yeah.
You have to have as much buoyancy that the wave that you are trying to carry. So
Yeah.
you put it high enough to have some kind of space orbital thing to grab it and put it into orbit.
Well, I'd be curious as to what the
or you can
normal.
just wait for the electromagnetic drive to be actually proved.
They're
Just-
trying to work on it right now, but they're
No,
not
it
gonna
is
win.
not. I agree it is not, but I like to dream. That is the closest thing that I can get to a dream. The
Okay,
electromagnetic
so
drive is the closest one.
apparently a helium balloon has a lift capability of 1 gram per liter. So then you have to look at actually the cost of 1 liter of helium. Because the helium's actually,
Yes, but it is the helium price is pretty weird because if I remember correctly, there is some kind of stock market issues with it.
yeah.
It's something like the countries that have the biggest reserve of helium are trying to get the prices up or down. I think it is the opposite. I mean, it is supposed to be you can buy helium to blow your party balloons, but it should actually be expensive in the matter that it should actually be rare.
Have I been making any progress doing it this way? I'm trying to see. Yeah. Yeah, sort of, actually. Nice. Yeah, this one jump at a time thing's not the best, but it's certainly better than I was doing.
Gives you better FPS.
Well, I don't have to calculate anything. It's just a single jump.
I'm worrying since I am a VR player actually for Elite. I don't play Elite without my VR headset, and I am just thinking if any day I want to go to Alpha Sagittarius, if that's the performance you get without VR, I will get screwed when I try to go to it.
Well, I have a 960 GTX graphics card and an i5 4590
Yeah, the
CPU.
processor is not really a matter, but the 960 is not that bad.
Well, sort of it's stumbling to the finish line, but we'll make it tonight, I think, within the next hour or so. Oh, I think so we were supposed to have I guess we talked to Stevie was going to talk and then we ended up just going on and on. How about another guest, Commander Old School? Hello. Hey there. He's not
Any
there.
other topic?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? It's pretty much completely open at the moment.
Since currently I am leaning towards the Empire.
Okay, so this thing about the Empire, I think it's basically some propaganda that you've been hearing that they're more efficient in their governance, because I've heard of a lot of internal squabbles, a lot of inefficiencies caused by the question of succession, and the fact is that actually the Alliance manages to keep a semi-democratic structure in place and maximizes self-determination while actually fairly maximizing governmental efficiency as well.
But what if I don't believe in democracy?
Well, I'd ask why.
Because you just think about the average person that you can think of,
Yeah.
and remember that half the people outnumber that average person.
Right. So you're saying that these people shouldn't have rights because they're too stupid.
Not really don't have rights, but personally, I kind of prefer. I'm in roleplay now. I kind of
Are
prefer
you?
the
Because I'm
situ.
I'm I'm always like only in semi role play. I'm kind of telling my official stance
All
here.
right,
But okay.
I am in semi roleplay. I agree that some kind of my non-roleplay views are affecting me right now.
Okay, well good. Then we're on the same page.
Okay. Uh, my opinion is that most of the people are not. It could be solved by an education reform, but right now we don't have that kind of education. So right now we cannot. s- We we need people to be informed about the decisions taken.
Okay, so what about representative democracy? In a representative democracy, the people aren't actually making the decisions. They're just picking people who make them.
Yes, but right now, how the people pick the person that are representing them, it is by the power they have. And that's how the empire works, in my opinion.
What? The empire works by picking people by power?
Yep.
Isn't that how people complain democracy breaks down?
No, democracy breaks down because people vote for stupid things.
In your opinion.
No, it is a fact, unfortunately, for the last month in the real world.
I don't know. Okay, I had a similar argument about this the other day. And that's that people can make decisions and they can be absolute idiots. And really clever, intelligent people can make those same decisions. They can just justify them perhaps in a more eloquent or complex manner. But, I mean, you'll find that dumb people in this world make very similar decisions at times to very intelligent people. I don't think there's necessarily completely a uh, always. I mean, it's just, certainly there are stupid things that almost every intelligent person would avoid, but I don't think you can say that certainly some political decisions are cut and dry when it comes to intelligent people believe this and stupid people are just too confused to believe it. I
I'm
mean,
not
it's one thing.
necessarily talking about
What I'll say is, I think
intelligence.
your point is that you feel helpless because you know that a lot of the decisions that are forced upon you by people's voting for representative democracy is done by people who you know can't think of things in a, as thoughtful and complex manner as you. But if you took that aside and you said, okay, but all these people are intelligent, the end result could actually be quite similar. If you only allowed intelligent people to vote, they could split in the exact same way, and you'd feel better about it because you'd say, well, at least it's the people who I respect who are doing this. You're saying, well, it's not really even people I respect who are controlling my future, my life, and that to you is is distasteful. So it's not actually necessarily the results of the government that you're finding distasteful. It's the fact that people who can't even justify the results of your government are causing it distasteful. Is distasteful.
Not really, because I can respect decision taken by educated people.
That's what I just said.
Not no, it is different from unintelligent because this in your speech right before this, you were talking about intelligence.
Okay, sorry.
I'm not talking about intelligence. I'm talking about education. And the thing is that most people, in the global scheme of things, don't care about global decisions, global markets, global politics. Most people are happy with their local happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that uh, even worse when you are talking like in elite terms of multiple system democracy. It it isn't viable because the people who are just happy with their own system will just be happy within their own system regardless of the biggest picture.
Okay, and so what's your problem?
My
And how did?
problem is that people, if you are given full democracy, people will vote for things that are good for their own local